the 777X Flight Test Airplane 1. Today I'm going to show you 3 key features of the 777X aircraft. Number 1, the engines. You know they're incredibly big, but do you know they're also incredibly fuel efficient? These engines are part of what helps the new 777X be 10% more fuel efficient than the competition. The laminar flow nacelles help reduce drag, while the large engine fan enables a higher bypass ratio, improving fuel efficiency, allowing you to connect more non-stops worldwide. Number 2, the wing. This incredibly high-span wing allows for more aerodynamic efficiency. In addition, it's a composite wing, much like that of the 787 Dreamliner, and it's built right here in Everett. The folding wingtip allows us to have better airport compatibility, so the new 777X can fit in the same gates as today's 777. Number 3, the fuselage. This fuselage on the new 777X is 7 feet longer than the 777-300ER. It's the same width on the outside, yet a wider cabin inside because we've re-sculpted the frames. This will improve passenger comfort for everyone in the cabin. These are just a few of the key features on the new 777X aircraft. For more information, please visit our website.
Emily, thank you so much for that video. You can really see the perspective as you stand next to it, how big the 777X is.
Absolutely. It's an incredibly large aircraft.
Yeah. You know what? Let's do a quick status check. It is just before 10 a.m. here on the West Coast in the Pacific Northwest. Just minutes ago, our pilots pushed back from the Everett Delivery Center, which is just behind us here. As we said earlier, we are waiting for a good window. When it comes to the wind, it is very breezy. Folks might ask, well, hey, airplanes fly and stuff like this is a first flight, so there are specific our flight test teams want to have.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that we take every precaution and that everything goes smoothly for this first flight. So as you mentioned, we are going to wait to make sure that the winds are in the right window for us to fly and for this to be a beautiful first takeoff.
And you can see it there. That was the brand new 777X pushing back just minutes ago. Emily, while we're looking at this, can you tell us how the 777X fits into the rest of the Boeing family?
Absolutely. So the 777X is the newest product in Boeing's wide-body lineup, and it's really based inherently in the 777-300ER, an aircraft that's been incredibly successful in the market and beloved by our customers and our passengers. So we've taken this incredibly reliable aircraft and we've added all new technology to it. As you saw in the video, we've got the new carbon fiber wing, we've got new engines, we've added a lot of technology that allows this airplane to be more aerodynamically efficient. That's going to allow it to go farther distances, carry more payload. So the 777X is comprised of 2 different models. The one that we're going to see here today is the first. It's the 777-9, slightly larger than today's 300ER. Can go about the same distance while carrying more passengers and more payload. So that's the first aircraft that we've built. We're going to flight test, we're going to certify. Next will come the 777-8, slightly smaller than today's 300ER, but really incredible range capability, over 1,300 miles farther than what today's airplanes can do. So that's going to help connect more city pairs in the world and allow more passengers to get to their destinations.
Very impressive. You can tell why our Boeing teams are so proud of it. You guys proud of it out there? Yeah. And with our Boeing teams today, we have our roving reporter, Vienna Catalani, who is going to be introducing us to some of the hardworking Boeing team members who have helped assemble this airplane. Vienna, good morning.
I'm Roberta. Yeah.
Good to see you. You ready?
Congratulations, yeah.
We get to stand.
Oh, sorry about that. Thanks, Josh, and good morning. I'm Vienna Catalani. We're on the Everett flight line, surrounded by all of our dedicated employees who aren't going to let a little wind and rain stop them from witnessing this first flight. In just a few moments, you'll hear from some of the people whose hard work made today happen. Back to you, Josh.
All right. Thank you so much, Vienna Catalani. So let's see. Let's do a quick status check. It looks like we are at 10:01 now here in the Pacific Northwest. And I believe, let's see. Let's go to the global video with our shout-outs from around the globe.
Hey, everyone. Jason Clark here, Vice
777X. I just wanted to reach out and say thank you to everybody. This transformation over the last several years was really defined by a caliber of people, a character of people, and an innovation set and intellectual set that has really transformed our ability going into the future to produce this great airplane. And now that we're at the point where we're transitioned into a flight test program, it is that time to say thank you to the entire supply chain, the production system, all of the people that made this possible.
777X rocks!
You rock the 777X program.
You rock 777X! 777X, elite composite.
From your 777X team down here in Long Beach.
Congratulations,
777X. 777X be champions.
777X, engineering excellence!
Way to go, 777X.
Awesome job, 777X team.
Way to be leaders, 777X.
777X, going global.
Promises made, promises kept.
In Seal Beach, California with the 777X team. Way to go, 777X!
Awesome job, Team 777X!
Congrats on the 777X first flight from the 777X team right here in Helena, Montana.
Have a great first flight.
Congratulations on the 777X first flight from the TDRC.
Congratulations, 777X from the Helena team. Keep up the good work.
Congratulations on the first flight from Portland Engineering. Congrats on the first flight from Boeing Central Assembly. Congratulations, 777X from Portland.
Congratulations, 777X from Propulsion, South Carolina. Félicitations pour le premier vol.
Bravo, 777X.
Congratulations to the 777X team for your first flight from the UKE-17.
Sierra Mayotta. 中国员工祝贺777X 首飞成功。
We're bombers here in Oklahoma City.
Congrats, 777X on your first flight.
From the F-15 leadership team.
Way to go, 777X. Congratulations, 777X.
Congratulations, 777X from BOAC.
777X rocks! Congratulations, 777X.
I work on the 777X.
I'm excited for first flight.
I'm really excited to have played a part.
First flights only come along once in a lifetime.
We spend so much time in development of a brand new aircraft.
It's been a journey, years of hard work
across the globe. And I'm excited
to see this once in a lifetime opportunity come to full fruition.
And to see the bird fly.
So I'm super excited.
All right, thank you so much to all our teams around the globe who helped do that video for us. Right now, we got a special treat. We've got Boeing Commercial Airplanes President and CEO Stan Dill, who is here to talk to us this morning. He's going to address the crowd.
Okay, good morning, Ever team. How's everybody? Are you ready for this? Woo! Look, on behalf of the whole company, I just want to say how proud I am of the team here in Everett, Washington, but throughout the Boeing company who came. Away, and we do it with the most incredible people around the globe. And we do it in a way that this is going to be right on the network. And I just want to say thank you to them as well. As we approach this flight, I know we have a group of customers here. We have most of them around the globe. Because we're clamored in 777X.
right, let's talk to our first guest this morning. Welcome to Josh Binder. Hey, Josh.
Thanks for having me.
Josh is the Vice President and General Manager of the Boeing 777X program. Josh, we're so excited that you're here today. We've seen a video of global teams around the world. You've been so closely tied to the development of this airplane. What does today's moment mean for you?
Well, today is really about the people who got us here. The folks who have designed it and built it and tested it and supported it from the beginning. You know, it really started key part of the development process all along. They helped us define what the airplane needed to be and, frankly, how we should approach the development of the airplane. And really, from that point forward, the whole process turned over to a fantastic team who really focused on the safety of the product and the quality of the product and delivering the customers what they want. So today is really for all of the people out here who helped get us to today.
Absolutely, that's incredible. Can you talk a little bit more about the airplane development itself, maybe some changes you've made in the production system?
Well, you know,
some highlights.
So the production system, the people who work in the production system are amazing, and whether you start at Boeing here or at facilities around the world, I know we've got people out here who are watching us from the Middle East and Asia and Europe and here in North America, and all of those folks have been a key part of making this production system go. We have people on this program that I've met, and this is the first job they've ever had. We have airplanes, and every single one of those folks, whether it's their first one or just their most recent one, have done a tremendous job of bringing industrial capability to bear to build a great airplane. And what I hear is our airplane is starting to move, so maybe we'll get to see that airplane that they helped create here in just a second.
That's incredible. Yeah, so the aircraft is moving right now. As you can see, the wingtips are folded up, as they should be when the aircraft is taxiing and moving around.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, so let's do a quick status check. It looks like it's coming down the ramp here. It's going to be probably just a few seconds before it's behind us here, so we don't know if you're going to be able to hear us because it could be potentially loud with those big, beautiful GE9X engines. And in the meantime, let's get Ted up here, who's one of our pilots. He's eventually going to talk to us. So if he could start making his way to the stage here, we will start talking to him.
I just want to take a moment and highlight some of the customers that have made this aircraft possible. Without their dedication to the airplane, we wouldn't be able to have, you know, confidence in the market that the 777X has, and
right.
Knowing this aircraft is going to enter into service and be such a big part of their networks. So I wanted to mention ANA, British Airways, Cathay Pacific, Emirates, Etihad, Lufthansa, Qatar, and Singapore. Thank you all for your dedication to this aircraft, and I'm sure we'll continue to see those order numbers rise for the 777X as we get closer and closer to entry into service.
All right, and here it is coming around the corner. Wow, that's beautiful. Josh Binder, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hey, thanks a lot. It's you're in a great spot to be able to see this airplane come around. So I might drop this headset and go watch our airplane come along. Thanks a lot for having me.
Absolutely enjoy this day. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks so much.
All right, and I think we're getting ready for our pilot, Ted Grady, to join us in a moment. So welcome with our roving reporter, Vienna Catalani. Let's go back to you and see if we can hear some stories from employees down there. How's it going, Vienna?
Thanks, Emily. As you can see, the rain is starting to pick up, but we're all pretty excited to see this first flight. I'm right here with Emily, one of our fantastic engineers. Emily, tell us a little bit about what you do at Boeing.
Yeah, of course. So I'm a liaison engineer, so I actually work in St. Louis with the St. Louis team there. And what I specifically do is I work closely with the factory and with the shop and resolve any issues they may have.
That's awesome. What are you most looking forward to about today?
I'm mostly looking forward to just seeing the airplane up in the air. I know everyone here is really amped. We just all want to see it fly. I know back home in St. Louis, we want to see the airplane in the sky, and I know we want to see our products up there in action. So
that's awesome. We're going to talk to another one of our engineers. Thanks, Emily. That was awesome to hear from you. Tell us your name, a little bit about what you do here, all that good stuff.
Sure. I'm Robin Miller. I'm with Quality QA Functional Test Team Lead. So, and I'm very excited to be here today for first flight. We worked hard. 777X.
How long have you worked at Boeing?
I hired in 1989, so a long time. I've seen a lot.
That's awesome. And is this your first flight, or have you been to others before?
I have been to others, actually. The tanker, 6-7, not 6-7 first, but the tanker.
All right. Thanks, Josh and Emily. Back to you.
All right, we just got a nice wave from the pilots coming around the corner here with the 777X. Absolutely. What a beautiful aircraft behind us. So joining us now, Ted Grady, part of the pilot community. Thanks for joining us, Ted.
Good to be here. Hey, Ted. So I know, let's talk a little bit about the weather, because as we said before, a lot of airlines take off in weather like this, but you're looking for specific envelopes today.
Sure, it's the first flight, so we've got specific weather requirements. Obviously, we're going to be conservative on the first flight. All the airplanes you see landing here are certified airplanes. They've been landing and taken off for thousands of hours. This is the first flight, so we're going to be conservative with that, and when we meet the parameters, they'll be able to take off.
All right, give me 1 second, because we're actually having a little trouble hearing you.
There we go.
There we go.
How about now?
I think that's a little better. You guys can hear it better now? All right.
So, Ted, can you give us a little taste of what the pilots are doing right now as this stage in first flight?
Yeah, sure. They're obviously getting ready for the takeoff. They're going to run their port takeoff checklist. They're checking the airplane for any last-minute unexpected faults and anything they need to address. They're coordinating with air traffic control, also with our telemetry monitoring room, which is receiving all the data off the airplane real time down at Boeing Field. The test director and the team down there are outstanding. They're going to be coordinating with the chase plane, which is going to do an airborne pickup, and any other last-minute prep. Really, they're just going to try to pay attention to the airplane, slow it down. There's a lot of potential for distraction.
Very cool. And you can hear those engines running behind us.
So, Ted, about those generally, is that a checklist item for you guys?
It is, and a lot of energy went into doing that right. So right before they take the runway, they'll extend the wingtips, and then they'll make sure they're down and locked. There's a lot of protections on those, so there's no way they'll take off with those things anything other than extended and locked out.
Very cool. So I know the pilots have been part of the process from the very beginning, before there was a 777X built, before there was a flight deck to sit in. Can you talk to us a little bit about, and the airplane is moving now?
Yeah, that's great news.
Ted, I think we have the best view in the house, man.
Yeah. It is a big airplane.
Absolutely. Look at those folded wingtips, the giant GE9X engine. She looks good.
And just to let everyone know on the webcast, because they might not be familiar with this area, they had to get clearance. Paintsville is an active commercial airport these days. So
it is. There's general aviation traffic and commercial airport traffic coming in. We're just getting a little blast from the engines there, which is kind of warm. Feels good. For a test flight, though, we'll have a specific clearance from the FAA to conduct the flight, and obviously for safety, there's some parameters on that. And one of those is we're going to take off to the north to minimize flight over congested areas, get out over the water.
And we might see chase aircraft alongside. We might not. They may meet up later with them. But tell us about that. What happens during the flight with the chase aircraft?
Yeah, chase plays an important role. If they can come alongside for the airborne pickup, they'll do that. Otherwise, they'll meet them up and away. And then they're just going to come on and give a close look at the airplane. They'll have a photographer on to capture any of the anything that's going on with the airplane. And then when they change the configuration or change speeds, they're going to give them a look over, make sure they're still in a good condition.
Very cool. I'm incredibly excited to see this aircraft.
Wow, look at that shot.
Air 4, where would you like to be positioned when the 777 departs?
You can hear chatter with the tower. That's what we're doing.
Air 4, unfortunately,
Yes,
that position won't work when the 777
Employees
departs.
are making their way out there to watch this incredible moment.
Years in the making for all of these very, very proud
Air
team
Force, you're
members
going to
here
be near the
Boeing.
departure end of 34 left.
Since the 777X family was launched back in 2013 at the Dubai Air Show.
Absolutely, and a record-setting launch at that. Just a true testament to what we've been able to create today and the 777X and its potential capability in those markets.
You can be a beam, the numbers are 34 left.
Hey Ted, oftentimes we see on these first flights the landing gear stay down. Tell us about that. What's happening?
Yeah, they'll take off and leave the landing gear down, leave the flaps in the takeoff configuration for quite a while they're doing their initial checks of the systems and some control sweeps to make sure that the airplane is flying as expected in that configuration. And then they'll gradually expand the envelope, is what we call it. They'll change the configuration, speed up, and then they'll clear that part. All the data is being looked at in the telemetry room, and then they'll eventually clear the entire envelope through the flight test program. For the first flight, though, it'll probably be close to an hour or more with the gear down and the flaps in the takeoff configuration.
Wow, making sure that we ensure that safety and quality in the aircraft. Continuing to look on real time as the 777X makes its way.
And they prepared for this flight several months, several years, with this specific flight profile. And engineering sim over at Boeing Field several times, coordinating with the telemetry room. So they're really familiar with it, and they've gone through it in their heads as well.
So we do a lot of testing in the sim
Yeah.
prior to flying the aircraft or in addition to flying the aircraft. Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, the engineering simulator at Boeing Field across the street from the flight line is high fidelity device. It's got great aero models. It's good for checking handling qualities and systems issues with the airplane. And I think we've all spent hundreds of hours in there so far in preparation for the flight test program. Before you go fly an actual maneuver, if it's a high-risk maneuver, you're going to do it in the simulator first. The team that puts that together and built that did a great job. It really emulates the airplane well.
That's amazing. And while we're sitting here talking about the flight deck, can you tell us a little bit about what pilots can expect in the 777X once this airplane enters service?
Yeah, sure. And it's really a blend of the 777 and the 787. I think if you spend weeks on the 787 or 777, you're going to be very comfortable in the flight deck. The systems are similar to 777, and the flight deck layout is really a blend of both 777 and 787.
Amazing. I know that's a big key piece of our wide-body products is being able to easily transition between an 87 flight deck and a 777X going forward, making that minimal differences training.
And we've seen that with the pilots we've brought over to the engineering simulator. They step in and even with customer demos, they're pretty comfortable right away.
Incredible. Let's take a minute and watch the aircraft.
And in the flight deck today, in the left seat, we'll have Van Cheney, who is the chief 777X test pilot. In the right seat, Craig Baumann, who is Boeing's chief pilot.
That's correct. Yeah. Van has been on the program from the beginning and in all the design decisions and the development of the airplane. And Craig's been providing program leadership overall.
We probably have a couple minutes here. Ted, if you could just kind of walk through, just briefly, and if it starts flying, we'll get to the stop and just enjoy the moment together. If you could just walk briefly through what happens after today.
Yeah, this is it's a great day. This is a big milestone, but it's really the first day of the flight test part of the program, and that's this is the first flight where we start to clear the envelope, and then we expand out to once we have initial airworthiness completed, we'll get into Boeing development testing, and then we'll eventually have the FAA on board and start certification testing. There's 4 flight test airplanes that are in the inventory, and eventually they'll all be flying, and they'll be flying all parts of the world.
Great. Thanks so much.
Do you know where we are when it comes to Painfield right now? What are we looking at? Are they about to make the runway at this point?
From what I can see in the monitor, they're about midfield and turning south. There's a little water on the monitor there.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
It's a little water everywhere today.
So they're just making their way down the runway. Obviously, that'll take a while. They're taking their time, and they're going to coordinate with the telemetry room to make sure that they're getting the data they need and that everything is a go before they turn the corner.
So the wingtips are folded up right now while the aircraft is taxiing. We've heard a little bit about the folding wingtips, but it's mostly to make sure that the aircraft can fit in a Code E gate. Right.
Those terms, Code E, Code F, it just has to do with the size of the airplane that airport can handle. So the design is to fit the 777-9 into what would be a traditional 777 gate at an airport, and that's a Code E spot. Now on the runway, they extend the wingtips, and they're in what's called Code F. And so the key is to just transition to that Code F size at the point where you're safe to do that.
Makes sense. So while the aircraft's taxiing, the wingtips will be up, and eventually they will fold down before.
That's right, and that's a manual extension by the flight crew. They're going to manually extend them. But on landing, they'll automatically fold.
Okay. Once the aircraft gets below a certain speed.
Yeah, it's 50 knots. They'll slow down, and the wingtips automatically fold.
Very cool.
Ted, on a personal level, I'm sure for Van and for Craig, this is a day that they will never forget.
First flight, you never forget. There's a few of them over the history of the company, and it's a really big deal. And we got the right guys on the airplane to fly this first flight. It kind of feels good once you get going because you've been working this hard for so many years that you finally get to start flying it.
Yeah, what an incredible day.
Sorry. It's just the wind is bad, so I'm going to just get response as I can.
So Ted, as you mentioned, this is the start to a whole other sequence of flight testing, more aircraft, stretching the envelope. That testing happens mostly here in the Pacific Northwest, or?
At first it will, and then we'll start going what we call remote to various airports, obviously to get different environmental conditions. We need hot, humid airports, we need cold airports, we need airports with strong crosswinds. We start looking for actual crosswinds, unlike today where we want less wind. Airports for performance landing and performance takeoff, and all the systems testing as well. And that'll take us all over the world.
Wow, incredible. And I'm sure there's a huge team supporting that.
Yeah, there is. The team that does the logistics for that are really impressive. I mean, you're moving the airplane and the parts and the mechanics and the crews and the test engineers in the back, and it's just a lot of logistics to do that. They pull it off amazingly every time.
So some of the test engineers in the back, just like you mentioned, I used to be one of those in my previous role. Can you share a little bit about what it is that engineers do on board the aircraft and how that works with the pilots? And
yeah, sure. Each engineer's got their area that they're an expert in, like when you're in air performance, and a lot of the information from the flight deck is displayed again in the back, and they're watching that along with a lot more precise data and monitoring the progress of the test. They coordinate that through the test director, who's up in the flight deck with the pilots. So it's an orchestrated conduct of the test, and it just flows in an even manner. And then after the test, they'll look at the data, make sure it's good, and move on to the next condition either works, or if we have issues, then we'll work them out and take care of it before we move on.
It is 10:27 now here in Everett, Washington. It sounds like they just got clearance to go into the main runway here at Painfield.
Yeah, they're turning the corner, and they're going to be just before they take the runway.
Wow, I get so distracted watching the airplane. What a what a cool moment.
Boeing 001 Heavy, Roger.
As a reminder to everyone who might just be tuning in from around the world, what a great moment to join if you are. This is the Boeing 777X, about to take its first flight in Everett, Washington, just north of Seattle, where our amazing, innovative teams up here assemble our wide-body twin-aisle aircraft. So Ted, what's happening in the flight deck right now?
They're probably just waiting.
Whiskey. I was on that line second.
Waiting for the winds to die down. Get an update from air traffic control. The tower's going to have the latest winds. They're probably coordinating with the chase airplane if he's airborne and able to do an airborne pickup, or he'll pick him up later in the flight. And I'm certain talking to the telemetry room down at Boeing Field to make sure everything's to go from their end.
Helicopter Whiskey, Roger. Wind 160.
So Ted, the aircraft is going to take off to the north.
That's correct.
And can you explain why that is?
It minimizes the exposure to built-up areas, and so that they'll be out of the water immediately, and then they'll just head straight up north to their route flight, which just basically takes them east-west in the northern part of the state to the basically across the upper corner of Idaho and then back. When they do their testing there, it's not a congested area, and then they'll fly a low approach, and then they'll come back to Boeing. That's the plan.
Very cool. So just part of the safety aspects that we're building into this first flight to ensure safety and quality focus as we continue flight testing.
And for people who've never seen the inside of one of these test airplanes, it's not like a commercial airliner where seats are everywhere. You have engineering equipment. You know, if you could just kind of explain what's on board today.
Yeah, that flight deck is pretty similar to what you'd see in any commercial airplane. But behind the flight deck door, there's a lot of instrumentation racks, water barrels, so you can move your center of gravity around for testing in the edges of the envelope. There's some seating for engineers and other people, but the back end, it's specifically designed for flight test.
Very cool. And passengers can get excited to fly on this aircraft eventually as well. We've enlarged the fuselage a little bit. We've added brand new windows, 787 sized windows. We've lowered the cabin pressure altitude similar to that of the 87, increased humidity, all of these effects that are really going to help passengers fly comfortably for long distances on the 777X.
Yeah, I think the passenger experience will be nice. A little bit bigger, a little lower cabin altitude. Does make a difference. It seems like they're waiting for the ceiling. If I'm hearing the tower, I don't have the latest weather on me, but maybe a combination of the ceiling and the winds.
How about we just, we'll stay on these beautiful images for now, Ted. We're going to let you take a little break. We're going to just turn off the mics for a second, get some water, and we'll just check in and just talk along to the video when needed. How
Sounds
about
good.
that? Okay.
Thanks.
Wind 15013, gust 20.
All right, as we wait for takeoff, we're going to go back to Vienna Catalani, who is down with our team members. Vienna, who you got for us now?
Thanks, Josh. Yep, I'm down here with Sullivan. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. I'm a QA on wing body join for the 777X. I work with
Wind 160
all sorts of
11,
functions, mechanics, engineering.
So being able to see this first flight today, what does that make you feel? What are you looking forward to the most?
Super excited. Being on the program from the very first airplane to when it flies is career highlight of the career so far. Yeah.
Awesome. How are we looking up there?
Hey, thanks so much, Vienna. You know, I know Ted talked a little bit about the commonality with the 787 and the 777X earlier today. You've worked a lot on this airplane. Can you tell us a little bit about just the commonality there between these two?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not just the commonality in the flight deck. As Ted mentioned, you know, there is a lot of emphasis on that to make sure that we can have common pilots between the two aircraft. But we also want to make sure that our wide-body products have commonality across them as much as possible to make that easier for our customers operating the aircraft, but also for passengers on the airplane to know that distinct Boeing interior. So I mentioned we've got the larger windows similar to that of the 787. Both aircraft will be pressurized down to 6,000 feet, which helps with some of those jet lag effects. Increased humidity as well. So a lot of aspects that are on the 787 that have been successful, that have shown to be proven in terms of a passenger experience standpoint, we've incorporated into the 777X. We've got larger bins in the interior, more open cabin feel, new lighting, new distinct architecture. And that's really going to help make sure that passengers feel that same level of comfort that they do on the 787 Dreamliner today on the new 777X.
You know, I know you've worked on the flight test team. You've worked with our marketing team now. Just on a personal level, to see how beautiful this airplane is sitting right there, ready to taxi out onto the runway. What is that like for you this morning?
Oh, it's incredibly cool. So as I mentioned before, I was an engineer earlier in my career here at Boeing, and being a part of flight testing is just such an incredible experience. It's unlike anything else. Being able to be on board the airplane, see it do things for the first time. I used to do the takeoff performance testing, so takeoff has a near and dear place to my heart. Just being able to see something that our engineers have designed and created and put so much time and effort into really coming to life, and this is the first time she flies, and she's going to continue flying you know, for years and years to come. So this is just the start, and such a great moment to be a part of.
Okay, just to remind everyone on the webcast where we are, this is Everett, Washington, just north of Seattle, on the Pacific Northwest part of the United States. We are here for the first flight of the Boeing 777X. It's a very windy day here, to say the least. You can probably hear it in our microphones. Every once in a while we'll get a rain shower. The ceiling isn't too low, but it's the wind that we're really looking at this morning and trying to get that perfect window for takeoff.
Right. As Ted mentioned before, it's really important that we have a safe and quality first flight, and so we're going to wait until the winds cooperate with us so that the airplane can take off in the safest possible conditions. We've got a new guest. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
Hey, Jason Clark with the 777X program. Thanks for joining us.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
Let's start with just the personal feeling of seeing this go through, you know, the launch back in 2013 up until today, and just seeing the development. What has that been like for you?
Yeah, you know, it's been actually a really wild and exciting ride, because we started out from the very get-go with a working together philosophy, because we knew this airplane was going to be big. It was going to be big for our company, it was going to be big for our customers, and it was going to be big for the world. We really want from the very get-go to make sure our suppliers, our engineers, all of our production system, every man and woman that was going to be working on this airplane was right there together, with full transparency, all of the things that were needed for them to be able to do the jobs they need to do and do it with excellence. And watching that team kind of mature and grow from day one back in November of 2013, it's been really, it's like watching your family grow. It really was. Everybody was engaged. The excitement was over the top. So.
Well, did they have to keep you from going down to the factory every day to see this thing? I mean, you're so close to the airplane, right?
No, there was no stopping me. No, it was one of those. It's one of my real pleasures in life to be able to go down and shake hands with people and see what they're doing and how it's going. You get to see stuff that works, stuff that doesn't work, things we need to improve. But what was really cool is how the whole team reacted when we had challenges. They'd come together. We'd get all the engineers, we'd get all the suppliers, we'd get all the mechanics, and we would just solve the problem. And that's what it's all about. You know, that's what these development programs are all about, is making sure we understand it and we go after what the issues are.
You know, I think we saw maybe you and Josh going to check it out earlier on the monitors this morning when it was at the delivery center.
Yeah.
To get that perspective, to stand next to it and see how big everything is, how big that GE9 is.
It is, yeah.
You know, if you could just explain for folks who haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, you know, it is crazy because when you look at it and you're seeing it on a screen as a concept and then the drawings and all that, you don't really get a feel for it. But as we start putting the airplane together and you see the big parts coming together, and then when you see the airplane in its entirety, and we've got several of them sitting over there now going through their prep work to go through first flight, it is really impressive. Really impressive as we go through that process. And when you stand next to it, all I can think about is those 3 million parts all coming together in unison, and all the blood, sweat, and tears and everything that people put into that to make it happen.
Wow, so cool. So have you been a part of First Flight before for other aircraft programs?
My very first program was the 767-400ER as a young engineer, yes. Yep, and that was all the way back in the early 2000s there. So it was a really cool event.
Are each of these different for you? Do they have different feelings?
It's kind of a strange thing. Every airplane's a little bit different, but the feeling is the same. I mean, it's I thought after a while, after you do a couple of them, you say, okay, well, it's just gonna be. It's not. It's just like brand new every single time.
Hey, look,
and the folding wingtips are coming down.
Okay, well, this is my part where I'd love to step away.
Okay,
go for it. Enjoy this moment. Thank you so much.
With your teams.
So as you may or may not have cheered from the crowd as those folding wingtips went down, part of this phase of flight for the aircraft to be ready to take off, and really showcasing that incredible wingspan.
And we don't know at this point. You can hear the chatter, but it's kind of unclear where we stand at this point as to far as if it's getting onto the runway or if we have 5 minutes or 15 minutes or we don't know right now.
Right. We're still waiting to hear.
But again, guys, we are waiting for that perfect window for the wind. The wind is key this morning.
Josh, I cannot wait to see this aircraft flying around at airports and having those huge wingtips be so distinctive and so memorable from a flying experience. I think it's going to be a really incredible feature, not only to distinguish the aircraft, but also to help our customers distinguish their brand.
Yeah, definitely. And I know there on the starboard side, you can see the list of customers. Let's run through those again. A big thank you to all of them.
Yeah, big thank you to ANA, British Airways, Cathay Pacific, Emirates, Etihad, Lufthansa, Qatar, and Singapore. Thank you all so much again for being a part of this record-breaking launch of this aircraft.
We're just going to hang out for a minute.
Yep.
Enjoy these
Standing
pictures.
By. those customers that we just mentioned are there with all of their logos on this first flight test aircraft today, really so that they can be a part of making history today as well.
Now about 10:46 here in Everett, Washington. We are really just waiting on the weather at this point. It's been very windy, and now the rain is starting to come down. We have a stage over us, but it's actually coming in because it's actually coming sideways.
Lots of sideways rain this morning. It's a little bit harder than it was before.
0 at 15, gust 20.
There's our stage there now.
Never mind us. Look at all of these dedicated Boeing team members who are weathering this and weathering with joy. Thanks to you all. I know this is so important for you guys to be out here.
170.15, gust 20, avoid overflying any aircraft.
True dedication.
Yeah, because it has gone from pretty ugly to really ugly. The weather has
absolutely. We started off today and thought it might stay reasonable, and the weather just keeps turning on us. So
you don't want to see us. You want to see the airplane.
I know, we're soaked. My hair's all messed up from the wind. It's an important day to be out here.
Definitely. Thank you. You know, we've been talking a little bit this morning about that spectacular journey of the 777X from 2013 when this was launched at the Dubai Air Show till now. Let's take a look at a video that really sums that up.
Wow, I just love watching that wing
Those
fold.
images give me chills. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's spectacular.
I don't know if the weather's getting better or I'm just getting used to it.
You probably can't feel your hands.
Probably not, no.
Okay, what we're looking at today is the 777-9. There's eventually a 777-8, a smaller version of this. Where does the 777X family, again, where does that fit into the overall Boeing product lineup?
Yeah, so the 777X is really the top of Boeing's product lineup in terms of the largest aircraft that we're going to offer. The 787 is fills up that first kind of smaller to medium section of the wide body product offering, and the 777X, like you said, we've got two models in the family, the 777-8 and 777-9. And ideally what we want to be able to offer our customers is flexibility in terms of seat count, in terms of payload capability, and then also in terms of range. So the 777X is going to be the top of all of that. It's going to offer the most payload, the most passengers, and the most range for our customers going forward. So we mentioned the commonality aspects before with the 787. It's really to seamlessly be able to allow our customers to sequence between smaller aircraft that maybe go shorter ranges all the way up through larger aircraft that go longer ranges. So our philosophy in our product lineup is to have kind of equally spaced models, and we do that with the Dreamliner family and now with the 777X as well.
First flight, obviously a huge milestone. Rollout or the reveal is also a big deal for everyone here at Boeing. That happened for the 777X back in March. Let's take a look back at that moment.
To the 777X rollout. So this is about you guys. You've showed us what the Boeing behavior of Be Champions looks like, and our hats off to you. I've been on a lot of development programs, and this is an outstanding development program, thanks to every one of you. So my hat's off to all of you. It literally took everyone in this room to get us here today.
I appreciate the opportunity to come and express my appreciation to this team today. Thank you for creating this amazing airplane. This has been a One Boeing program. You, along with your teammates in Southern California, Huntsville, St. Louis, Charleston, Philadelphia, Moscow, and of course, all over Puget Sound.
And what I always saw was a team that never stepped away from a challenge, but rather stepped towards that challenge and overcame it. That is an incredible feat.
This is a really significant milestone for all of you who've worked on the 777X program.
Absolutely incredible rollout video. Were you there at the rollout?
Unfortunately not, but I've heard great things.
I was there. It was the coolest moment to be able to see this airplane roll out of the factory in its beautiful livery and just check out those big engines, the big wing. It was a really cool moment for me as well as the thousands of employees that joined for that event back in March.
That beautiful new Boeing livery is something to see for sure.
Absolutely.
We've seen the airplane a lot this morning as we're looking out on the paint field right now. What can customers expect once they walk onto the 777X?
So the 777X is really going to be a revolutionary passenger experience. I mentioned some of those aspects before, but let's talk through. There's a unique architecture on the 777X that allows us to have different cabin configurations depending on how the customer designs the airplane. That's going to allow the cabin to feel more spacious. and just extend really that full width of the fuselage. Let's take a look now at the 777X interior video. You'll notice the new lighting, the bins. Now those bins are just as large as the 787 Dreamliner bins. They're going to hold a lot of passenger bags and tuck up and away into the ceiling to really enable that sense of space in the cabin.
I want those seats. That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Air 6504.
You can see those Dreamliner-sized windows as well, allowing everyone in the cabin to have a view to the outside. And again, lower pressure altitude, increased humidity, better gaseous filtration, all of those things are going to combat the jet lag you feel when you're on an airplane for a long period of time, so that you can arrive feeling more refreshed. Before, but we've sculpted the frames in the 777X fuselage relative to that of today's 777-300ER, adding an extra 4 inches of space to the cabin, making for a better passenger experience. So as you saw, it's going to be a really incredible aircraft to fly in.
The sun coming out?
No, you're dreaming.
I am dreaming. We have heard that the chase planes could potentially be headed in this direction, but again, that's a very dynamic situation. That could change. We're trying to figure out exactly where we stand. So we're going to take a little break right now and show you guys exactly what's happening when. We'll be back in a bit.
Cessna 2711 Romeo, Payne Tower, pursuit to the VOR, report. Alright, 2739, turn left off 6, ground point 8, good day. Airport 32, Payne Tower, roger, proceed as requested. Attention all aircraft, Payne Field is now VFR, we're cutting a new ATIS and airport traffic. Just entering the Delta from the north is on a VOR approach, so once he reaches the field, he's going to turn westbound, climb to 2000 Cessna. Cessna 109, stand by, just be 1 minute. Cessna 11 Romeo, as you turn westbound, traffic helicopters 2 to 3 miles southwest of the field, orbiting at 1,400. Wind 170 at 23, gust 29er. Cessna 98, not a problem. Wind 170 at 23, gust 29ers. A Cessna flying over the field, turning westbound, and then I'll get you out of here if you still want to depart. Cessna 11 Romeo. Roger. First code helicopter traffic now. You're 12 o'clock, 3 miles. Shouldn't be a factor. Connect Seattle, departure 128.5. Cessna 0908, wind 17022, gust 29er, southbound approved runway 16 right at Alpha 4, clear for takeoff. Air 4, Bruce called Cessna traffic now 2 miles north of your position, westbound at 2000. Air 4, roger. And Air 4, additional traffic just off the departure end of 16 right, Cessna southbound climbing out of 1000, indicated. Cessna 098, traffic heading to your right, 2 miles, orbiting helicopter at 1500. Air 4, roger. Cessna 098, helicopter has you in sight. Cessna 098, left turn northbound approved.
Wind 170 at 20, gust 29er. I'll let you know as soon as I see weather. Cessna 0908 traffic, 12 o'clock, 5 miles, southbound, altitude indicates 1,400, type unknown along I-5. Cessna 0908, westbound approved. Air 4, Payne Tower, from your present position, proceed taxiway Bravo. Air 4, correct. They don't want us to directly at Castle and Cook, so they'll be landing on Bravo and then air taxiing or hover taxiing over to Castle and Cook. Air 4, wind 70 at 23, gust 29er, taxiway Bravo, clear to land. And Air 4, use caution for some vehicles on the west end of taxiway Bravo. Now it's 5460, Payne Tower, wind 170 at 21, gust 29er, and then 16 right, clear to land. Wind 160 at 18, gust 29. Wind 180 at 16, gust 29er. start with 5460. Turn left Alpha 6 or Alpha 7, the contact company. Cessna 10098 Payne Tower. Would you like runway 16 right or runway 16 left? Or 0908, enter right base, runway 16 right. Cessna 0908, runway 16 right, clear to land. Wind 180 at 18, gust 29er. Cessna 738 Bravo Uniform Payne Tower, waiting after release. Cessna 8 Bravo Uniform, runway 16 right at Alpha 5, clear for takeoff. Traffic at Cessna on the right base. Attention all aircraft, Payne Field Ocean Alpha, current Payne altimeter 29er at 902. Cessna 8 Bravo Uniform, contact Sail Departure. Cessna 098, contact ground point 8. Horizon 2879, Payne Tower, runway 16 right, clear to land. Wind 180 at 19, gust 28. Wind 190 at 17, gust 28. Tower 50 at 71, Payne Tower, number 2 behind an Embraer on a mile final, runway 16 right, clear to land. Wind 180 at 15, gust 28. Wind 180 at 15, gust 28. Horizon 2879, turn left Alpha 6 at A Wilson, contact ground point 8. Boeing 001 Heavy, Wilco, is that, just out of curiosity, 10 knots sustained or including the test? Roger, I've seen it drop as low as 12 or 13 here, so fingers crossed. Right now, wind check 170 at 18, gust 28. Skyhawk 1646 Charlie Chain Tower, waiting after release. Cessna 1646 Charlie. Fire on a heading climb, maintain 2000, runway 16 left, clear for takeoff.
Heading 2000, let's take off 16 left, 16
Cessna 2711 Romeo, Payne Tower. Number 2, following an Embraer on short final. Caution light turbulence, runway 16 right, clear for the option. Wind 170 at 17, gust 27. Skywest 5871, turn left Alpha 6 and contact ground point 8. Good day. Cessna 46 Charlie, squawk 4613.
4613, 1646 Charlie, thanks.
Cessna 46 Charlie, contact tail departure, 128.5.
Departure 2.5, what's the approach test?
November 232 Tango Bravo, Payne Tower, make straight in, runway 16 left, change to my east side frequency, 130.2. Alright, 2 Tango Bravo, verify information, Alpha, Payne altimeter 29902. It's 2 Tango Bravo, thank you. Off your right wing now, traffic is Cessna, inbound for the parallel runway, descending through 2000. Cessna 11 Romeo, traffic off your left wing 1 mile, overtaking you slightly, experimental inbound for the parallel runway. Number 2 Tango Bravo, runway 16 left, clear to land. Wind 170 at 19er, gust 25.
Payne Tower, did the 777 get off today?
Negative. Number 1 Romeo radar. Number 2 Tango Bravo, stay parking. Number 2 Tango Bravo, turn right, Golf 3, then contact ground point 8. Number 2 Tango Bravo, no problem, turn right, Golf 4, then contact ground point 8. Air 4 Payne Tower, verify information Alpha. Air 4, use caution for vehicles on the west end of Bravo, taxiway Bravo, clear for takeoff. Remain in between the parallels. Wind 180 at 18, gust 27. Number 11 Romeo, traffic, a helicopter in between the parallels, departing currently just north of the tower, will remain in between the parallels. Boeing 113, Payne Tower, number 2, following a Sistema on a 1 mile final. Runway 16 right, clear for the options. Wind 170 at 19er, gust 29er. Number 11 Romeo, previous called helicopter traffic is now ahead to your left, just south of the tower, report in sight. Number 11 Romeo, altitude indicates 1,500. Fly runway heading for now. I'll call your turn for that traffic. Number 11 Romeo, reference that traffic on course approved. Air 4, previously called Cessna traffic, has you in sight. They're slightly behind you over the runway, climbing through 1,300. Number 11 Romeo, roger. Air 4, thank you. Number 11 Romeo, contact field departure 128.5. Air 4 traffic, Boeing 737 on a 3 mile final for runway 16 right. Will be on the missed approach 3 out. Boeing 113 traffic, helicopter just south of the tower in between the parallels, level at 1,500. Wind 180 at 19er, gust 29er. Control aircraft paying from Bravo, current paying altimeter 293, wind 17019er, gust 29er. Showing 113, contact field departure 128.5. Horizon 2864, fly runway heading 5, maintain 3000, runway 16 right, clear for takeoff. Giant 4151 heavy, paying tower. Good afternoon, wind 180 at 16, gust 29er, runway 16 right, clear to land. Horizon 2864, traffic, a helicopter, midfield, in between the parallels, level at 1,500. Air 4, traffic and Embraer departing runway 16 right. Horizon 2864, contact field departure, good flight. Giant 4151 heavy, for planning purposes, if you can exit at Alpha 7 or Alpha 8 if need be, we do have a 777 waiting at the very south end of Alpha, at Alpha 10. Thanks so much. Wind 190 at 19er, gust 29er. Aircraft use caution, bird activity on the south end of the airport at beam Alpha 8. Giant 4151 Heavy, thank you for the power up and thanks for making Alpha 7. Turn left Alpha 7 and contact ground point 8. Yes. Crossstream 462, Mike Kilo, Pain Tower, running 16 right, line up and wait. Control aircraft, low-level wind shear advisories in effect, reported by heavy Boeing 747, gaining losses of 15 knots on final. Crossstream 2, Mike Kilo, traffic, a helicopter in between the parallels just south of the tower, remaining at 1,500. Wind 180 at 21, gust 28, running 16 right, clear for takeoff. Crossstream 2, Mike Kilo, contact CL departure as a flight. Wind 190 at 18, gust 28. Wind 190 at 16, gust 28. Wind 190 at 15, gust 2 8. Alright, 001, Castelling Payne Tower, we were just given a wind check, 180 at 15, gust 2 8. Skyhawk 1646 Charlie, Payne Tower, running 16 right for the land. Wind 180 at 18, gust 30. Gains and losses of 15 knots on Primeiro. Wind 190 at 22, gust 30. Giant 4316 Heavy, main car, are you ready? Giant 4316 Heavy, Payne Tower, traffic to Cessna on a 4-mile final. Runway 16 right, clear for takeoff. Giant 4316 Heavy, traffic, a helicopter midfield just south of the tower, altitude indicates 1,500 level. Cessna 46 Charlie, caution weight turbulence, departing heavy Boeing 747. I see that. Wind 190, 19 aircraft 30. Giant 4316 Heavy, request flight conditions including bases on climb out, contact sail departure, and you can relay that to them. Thanks so much, good flight. Wind 180 at 15.30. Cessna 46 Charlie, turn left altitude and contact ground point 8. Skywest 5739, Payne Tower. Fire on a heading, climb, maintain 3000, runway 16 right, clear for takeoff. Wind 180 at 18, gust 30. Cessna 738, Bravo Uniform, Payne Tower, runway 16 right, clear to land. Tower 5739, traffic, a helicopter midfield, just south of the tower, level at 1,500. Airport traffic and Embraer departing runway 16 right. Thank you. Wind 180 at 17, gust 24. Skywest 5739, contact cell departure, good flight. Helicopter 8518 Whiskey, Payne Tower. Wind 180 at 23, gust 31. Departure from the east ramp will be at your own risk. Please caution, northbound approved. Helicopter 18 Whiskey, traffic, helicopter, midfield, south of the tower, altitude indicates 1,500. Air 4 traffic, a helicopter departing from the east ramp northbound. Wind 180 at 15, gust 24. Wind 180 at 16, gust 23. Cessna 8 Bravo uniform, turn left, Alpha 2, then contact ground point 8. 8 Bravo uniform, turn left, Alpha 3, then contact ground point 8. Today.
Helicopter 8518 Whiskey, request frequency change.
Helicopter 18 Whiskey, frequency change approved.
Frequency approved, 18 Whiskey.
Number 16 X-ray, obtain tag. Be advised your radio is very weak. Boeing 016 X-ray, roger. Wind check, wind 180 at 18 gust 24. Saratoga 363908, Payne Tower. Runway 16 right at Alpha 4, clear for takeoff, right turn approved. Traffic over Edmonds at altitude 1,800. Traffic alert at Boeing 737. Head to your left, 1,400. Boeing 636, Payne Tower, awaiting IFR release. Boeing 636 Heavy, Payne Tower. Traffic, a helicopter, midfield, in between the parallels, level at 1,500. Runway 16 right, clear for takeoff. Air 4 traffic, a heavy Boeing 767 departing runway 16 right. Wind 180 at T0, gust 33. Saratoga 3 at 908, traffic, beam possession point, northbound, altitude indicates 1,800, type unknown. November 5125 Bravo, Payne Tower, transition westbound approved, Payne altimeter 29904.
Westbound, approved. 5125 Bravo.
Boeing 636 Heavy, contact Dell departure.
I think left 360, maybe two of them, they're climbing for the altitude.
We're 25 Bravo, approved as requested. Wind 170 at 19er, gust 33.
Going 434 heavy paint tower, runway 16 right, cleared to land, wind 180 at 18, gust 33. Helicopter 350 Whiskey Whiskey Main Tower. Helicopter 0 Whiskey Whiskey Roger, stand by for landing traffic. Helicopter 0 Whiskey Whiskey Air Taxi 2 Castle and Cooksey Alpha Bravo. Flying 434 Heavy left turn Alpha 6, contact ground 18. Primeiro 2766 Main Tower. Primeiro 2766 traffic, helicopter orbiting between the parallels 1500. Primeiro 2766 runway 16 right at Alpha 1, clear for takeoff, wind 170 at 20, gust 29er. November 5125 Bravo, frequency change approved. There's an Air 2766, contact departure. So 6752 on frequency. Go 6752, Paint Tower, roger. Calling Paint Tower 120.2, say again. Boeing 411 Heavy Painting Tower, helicopter orbiting between the parallels at 1,500, runway 16 right, clear for takeoff. Boeing 411 Heavy Wind 170 at 22, gust 27. Boeing 411 Heavy, roger. Information Delta now current at Painfield, altimeter 293. Boeing 411 Heavy, contact departure. That's 5752, 30 seconds. Skywas 5752, caution wait turbines for the previous heavy Boeing departure, runway 16 right, clear for takeoff, wind 170 at 22, gust 34. Skywas 5752, traffic helicopter orbiting between the parallels at 1,500. Skywas 5752, action described. 5752, contact departure. Boeing 001 Heavy Bay Tower. Boeing 001 Heavy, wind 170 at 22, gust 34.
taxi, Charlie Solo 212105. Afirmativo, livre na Charlie Solo 2105, projeto FCA. 19707 autorizado decolagem, vento 1800979. 1025, escuta, a linha e motor agora da esquerda. A linha tem 10 horas da esquerda, 90.
Flying 16 X-ray, Pain Tower. Flying 16 X-ray on Pain Tower frequency.
Right, it's exciting for us. It's a great.
Flying 16 X-ray on Pain Tower frequency.